in. Let's see if this works. Screen, good to go. I'm going to play around with the counter, and I thought, oh, let's make something. So, got coffee. Let's make a graphic around coffee. So I'm just going to choose a nice image. Which one to choose? It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna pick one. I don't know. There's too many options. Too many images. They're all good. Except for that one. That's terrible. That's terrible too. Let's go for this one. You can pick whatever image you want. It doesn't even have to be coffee. I'm just gonna save that to the desktop. Cool. So that's just gonna be my background. Just a 2D layer, image, desktop. It should be my background somewhere. Where is it gone? Can you see it? I cannot see it. Where did you go? Weird that this doesn't update, but it's there. Okay. So I'm going to move that to the top, so it's at the back. So that's just my background image. And now I'm going to go into this 3D layer. So now I'm going to create, I want to create like a counter saying like, do you like coffee or something? Or like, where people could, just imagine you have data or something like a feed or likes or on Twitter or what's it called? Those little hearts. Maybe we'll do the little hearts. So say we have this and a rounded rectangle. Start off with a rounded rectangle. Let's just make it big, nice and big. We can scale it all down after anyway. I'm going to increase the roundness, round size, like that. Now I want a little triangle. So what I could do is just duplicate this, remove the round edges. Actually, just use a rectangle. Just use a rectangle. There we go. Scale this up. Nope. Rotate in Z, like this. I could have used a circle as well and just dropped the tessellation. But, it doesn't matter. Minus 45. There's many ways you can create this graphic. It could just be one image. You can make this in Photoshop. But I just thought, I'll make it using just shapes. But you can, if you don't have Photoshop, you just do Inventus using the assets here to make simple graphic. Now I want these to share the same color. I'm going to say solid color and place it in front of both. Give it a color so we can see it. There we go. And of course you can, change the scaling on this. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll be playing it with this all day. I'm going to add another axis just in front of that now. So now these two I can move independent, but then this is the grouped one that I can scale, example. So I can move that around after. Okay, so I want to create let's go Googling. Why is the window all the way over there? I need icon, so I want a heart, PNG, white, just the shape. I just want the shape. Why is this? Just want a simple one. There we go. Save as the PNG. Save it to my desktop. Okay. I'm gonna add another axis. Rectangle. Texture. So this is just a graphic. I'm gonna move this in Z forward just slightly so it doesn't clip into this background. So right now it's inheriting the color from above. That's why it's orange. The checkers is orange and black. So we want to change inherit to no light, and we load in the texture. There we go. Cool. I think these round edges are a bit too much, maybe. Maybe it's too big like this. And shift this up. Put that back to -45. Being a bit picky, but okay. So we've got this. I'm just going to add a little mover to this. So this graphic, so it has a little tiny pulse of 3.5. It's the current scale, so I'm going to put this in 3.5, maybe 3.8. 3.5 to 3.8, and I'll have it on swing. Yeah, 1 second for now, and take the scale off. And now I've just got this little beat. You can slow that down or speed it up. We want some text, so I'm going to add another axis. I'm going to get text 2D. Let's scale this up. And the same, it's inheriting the color above, so we need to apply solid color to it. And this one, it knows it's not inheriting it. It's nice. And this will be just the count. So that'll be the value that will be coming in. So if say something like 8 or whatever, it will be there. Let's see if we've got a nicer font. We've still got the mountain one, but yeah, that'll do. Just normal text. And we'll link this later to the other graphic. So we'll have one counter that will just drive this and another graphic. So say that's our first graphic made. I'm just going to shift this over here. Go. I'll just call this counter 1. Okay. I'm going to make another graphic, so I'm going to get another axis. I'm going to do the rounded rectangle again. This time I want to, so it's going to be a bigger box, like this. I'm going to give it a color, solid, so it's with no light, so it's not affected by any lighting. Probably reduce that slightly. Okay. I'm gonna create another axis, which will be the main group. That will allow me to move everything together. I'm just gonna add another one, and I'm going to duplicate this rounded rectangle, so like this. Oh, I could have grabbed that and read that, but that's fine. I'm gonna change the color. So on the base color, so this one's gonna be our bar. And so on the base color, I want to add a texture on the base like this, and I want to change the loader to the gradient like there, and on the gradient options Let's do vertical. Turn vertical off so it goes horizontally across. Gonna adjust the width and the height. Something like this. And increase the roundness. So they have rounded edges. Right now it's going from white to black, so it looks incorrect, but that's just a gradient. I'm gonna double click this. Let's edit the gradient. That's something we can see. So we can see, I don't know, purple. Might go for like orange as well. Orange, I don't know. And then purple or something, I don't know. You can play around, do something like this. And I want to align this to the left. Boom. So now it looks wrong. So I'll just shift this across. Now I want the data to say, oh, this grows as the count grows. So like this. And then it will grow. That makes sense. But I need another bar to say, as a background, to say this is what we're filling up. So I just duplicated the same one. Then extend this one, so it's the full. On here, I'm going to get rid of the base material and change this to slight grey. The base color, slight grey. And in the Z, I'll push this forwards so it doesn't clip. I'm going to push this back. So I push this one back and push this one forward, and that one stays at 0. So now these two, so now it looks like this is filling as it scales. So we can set a min and max where this fills the data. And then I need something more interesting, so let's get emoji. You know, you can import emoji. You can use emoji. Where is it? Ventus emoji. You could download this. Install the pack and use it. Or I'm just gonna do emoji hot. I'm just gonna use an image for now. But you can go to the install the emoji package and then use these emojis if you want. Emoji fonts. But I wanna go for one of these. This one's a PNG, is it? I hope it's save image. It's not a PNG because it's got what's that, transparent. Yeah, this one. Save images. PNG. Just saved that to my desktop. I'm gonna parent this. No, actually, I'm not gonna parent it. I'm just gonna put it here. Rectangle. Color solid. I'll click on that. Add the texture base. Phone's going crazy. Loading that texture was heart eyes. I forgot to change it to texture base alpha, sorry. So we want to use the alpha. We do like so. And we're gonna have to shift this forward. I moved it maybe 3 spaces forward. So maybe this moves with the bar. So this and this as they increase. So what I think you could do it, is you take the current X position, let's see, let me see, X position, and the size X. Nah, then you have to use a clipping to convert it. I might as well just I can make it more simpler, a lot more simpler. That's fine. I'll make a simpler way to do that. We can just use an animation and then control it. So we know it's always going to be 0 to 100. We can just use a simple control, and then key. So this is the face, and this is the scaling of the X. And like this, I'm going to go to the timeline. Of course, you could actually just drive the values. You don't have to actually do this. You could say, well, wait, actually, before I do it this way, let's ignore these. I could say, okay, the X is this image is following this size X position. So now, so the minimum of size X is 0. So if I get a clipping node and place it in between, like this, my minimum max, that's fine. So the min output, I want the face to be here. And then when this is its maximum here. Actually, I could just do that, and then just drag that graphic like that, and make sure that, because that input is 16 right there, 16.617. There we go. Of course, this, when it goes over, it's not going to go because that's the max value, but there you go. Now we're converting the X value to follow the size X. The other way you could do it, so it keeps for me, I prefer doing this because then I can control. I know it's 0 to 100 always. I don't have to do this, and then I can tweak those animations. I can tweak it so I say have different things in it. But just up to you how you make that. I'll stick to this for now. And that input for the X, we're gonna drive using a counter. So we're gonna drive this value here, and this value will be linked to a counter, which would be use a clipping node as well. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. Now we duplicate it. I'm gonna just delete all the extra stuff that's attached because we don't need that. I just want an extra graphic, something like this. I want a mover to do this. Animate like that. Mover. -5 to 5. Something like this. I don't know if that looks right. What's all these text messages? Okay. Sorry. Anyway. So this that's just the extra graphic for this plate. And then say we want a title. So let's add a title to this. So text, 2D text. I want a color solid as well. Actually, what I'll do, I want this gradient as the text. So now, go here. Text has a gradient as well. Do you love coffee? I think that's how you spell coffee, right? Coffee. I have to double check. My spelling's not very good. Yeah. There you go. Just wait for that mounted one. Of course, you can tweak the gradient. Double click there. Perhaps run this. Doesn't look like it's going across very well. Maybe I'll change the mapping, 2D mapping. It's hard to see it. Perhaps I'm going to change this to 3D UV. Is it triplanar model space? Let's see what happens. Yeah, triplanar and the model space. Now you can see it's much easier to control. That'll do. That'll do. I'm just going to call this title. Maybe this doesn't even need to be that big. I'll make this slightly smaller. And shift some of these graphics. These two and this. Just bring this down a little. Bring these down. You know, just play around. And I don't know, I'm thinking maybe the rounded bevels is too big. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so now we need to drive this graphic and this value. So this and this we want to drive. So I'm just going to use, for now I'm just going to use counter. This could be coming from, so these values could be coming from anywhere, but I'm just using a counter for now. And we're going to take so right now if I press forward, we're going to take this value here, which will drive this and this graphic. So what we could do is get an integer as well and link the text like this to the integer goes there, or you can go straight from the text to that, doesn't matter. So you could do straight from there, and that's just showing the value of the counter. And then the same for this. So what we do is take the size X, link it to the counter here. And you can see as I count, so the max right now is at max end is at 9. Say I put it 10, it's still got, but we want bigger numbers. So say if I said 1000, reset. Cool. So right now 16 and the max is 1000, so 16 should be really tiny. Actually, let's make it 100 just to keep it simple, but we just use a clipping node to convert this. So we know the max input, say 16 on this, and our max in is 100, and the min is 0, and that's 0, that's fine. So if I reset that, 0 is here, this is 0, keep on going. I'm just clicking forward, you can see as I click forward, it's counting, this is growing, so when it gets to 100, it will reach. It's going to take, you know what, it's going to take forever, and what I'm going to do is just, what you can do as well with counters, you can use an event. So you could use event, you see this, use event argument. So on an event, you can send a value. So if I said 100 there, and I'll turn that on, and then I believe if you do it like this, you just link the forward or something to it. Boom. Now that event has fired 100. You can see it changed there, and it's jumped there. So that's just instead of me pressing forward all the time, and can go back. But it just says, well, you can see, but this data can come from anywhere, right? But we're just messing around with a counter. On here, you might want to change extended layout, maybe, because we're using working with numbers, digits only. So it doesn't jump as much. You can adjust the character space in there. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that's useful. If I reset, oh yeah, and you notice what we can do as well. When I reset, you see how the graphic will just jump. So the value will jump and snap. It just snaps, and that will just snap into its position. But say I want this to be much smoother when it resets or jumps. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to add that event back in, set the argument to 100, and just link that. So when I hit 100, I don't want it to jump. So we can go in here and we can add a linear node in between. And then we can adjust the duration on that. We can also add a linear node here. So linear. So now when I reset, that's why I would use an integer. So you noticed on this value here, if I don't know if you see it, you'll see it here again. You'll see the floats appear. So if we use an integer in between, so now we won't see the float values. So if I said reset this, there we go. And you see this is animating nicely. Now I can count like this. I can hit 100, you know. Okay, maybe I'll say, oh, let's send a different number, 50. Invoke that. Oh, instead of forward, sorry, I want to say I'm going to link the reset. So now it will send, when every time I change that value argument, it will reset to that value, which is much better. So I can test it. So 20, I want to see what it looks like. It's 20, you know, 100, invoke it. There we go, we've got a little graphic. Anyway, so this counter is driving now two different sets of graphic. Maybe I'll put this there, you know, you love your coffee. Not everybody likes coffee. I don't like coffee. I don't like tea either. I don't like my tea. I don't like my coffee. 50% people might not like it. I don't know. Maybe 51% like it. But yeah, there we go. Hopefully that was useful. I mean, it wasn't nothing exciting or nothing amazing, but just using the counter. And we use some clipping nodes as well. So we use some clipping nodes, so you can see how clipping nodes work. We used a counter, we used an event that sends an argument to drive the counter. We used the integer to get rid of the float. And we made a silly graphic. If you want as well, you could just add little boom, 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 little mover there. And go mover. Take the scale all. Right now that's ridiculous. Just remove. There we go. Of course, you could. I'm just going to duplicate that text again. I'm going to cut this, take this out of the group, paste it here. I'll just make another graphic. There we go. Do you love your coffee? or it could be I don't have for some weird reason I don't have the hashtag. I don't have this symbol on my keyboard. It is bizarre. Paste it in hashtag coffee shop. There we go. Really simple graphic. And if you want, you can mess around with all the post effects. I don't think it needs any. Doesn't need any. Like that's just a. It's just 2D. So just an infographic rather than a. Eh. And reduce the threshold there, and reduce the amount. Anyways, hopefully I'll end it there. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.